Hey, sports bettors, welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, April 17th. My name is Boyd. I teach beginner and struggling sports bettors how to sustain income using profits with OddsJam and with data-driven betting tools, heuristics, methods, and tips that really put you in front of the positive EV bets that you need to have to succeed, to get the edge, and to have a betting plan, have a profit plan. So that's what I do. Here at the channel, we kind of get a morning report, go through some tips and some methods with using the positive EV page, the low hold page, some odds screen, all the different tools at OddsJam. And so we're going to get into that here next. All right, guys, a couple things before we get into the picks and the selections and everything that I want to remind you, if you go to boyddavis.com, if you're a person that really wants to expedite your education and get involved right away, we do the private consultations to talk to you one-on-one about your situation, your scenario. We walk you through the 9-phase, the 9-step strategy, the positive EV strategy that we incorporate. And then we come back and we do a private one-on-one call to talk to you about, your specific steps. We really build you a specific profit plan for your scenario wherever you're located. We give you the tools. We give you the education. We give you the roadmap. And that's really, the recipe to how you're going to be profitable using positive EV betting. So if you're interested in that, make sure you stop by the website and get involved there. Also, the best piece of advice too is I can give you is get the tools. Get yourself signed up with OddsJam. You're going to save 20% off the first 2 months if you get signed up as a new user with any of the packages. Make sure you use Boyd20 for that. Helps out quite a bit to make good positive EV bets. And so get yourself educated, get yourself the tools, and get yourself in a position where you can actually function really, really well. Okay, guys, here we go. Typical morning. So you log into the OddsJam site, hit the positive EV page. Now, the positive EV page is going to show you on the left-hand side the market to value expectation, the edge, if you will. And when you open this up, you're going to be able to quickly identify some selections you may want to take a look at. And so what I typically like to do is use my settings, use my filters, get all the sports books that you want to have set up. You can use this for live or in-play games. Very, very cool, very, very big advantages you can identify in those. And you kind of start to top, go to the bottom. And if you have certain criteria, you want to say stay above 2%, you can do that. So in this first game here, player points and assists, Maxi under 30.5 at bet365. You can open it up a little bit further and take a look at the whole market. I like to check out betonline.ag. I like to check out a little Pinnacle action on this. I don't see those two right now reporting some of the data on this. This game is today with the Heat and the Sixers. That's something I might check back in a little bit later on with. So right now what I'm seeing is that plus 110 at bet365 is sort of an outlier. So I think it's from a value perspective is a no-brainer. The market width is a little higher than I would like to see. It's a 51. My player prop bets, I like to see something around 30. So this is kind of the one consideration, but this price is too good to pass up at the plus 110. You could use some other analytics and other statistical tools to see if this is kind of probability-wise something that would work for you as far as the points and assists in that market, but something you can kind of keep your eye on. Another page you can check out is the low hold page. The low hold page is a tool that I use daily. Basically what it does, guys, is it shows you the percent edge, which you see over here is 0. And you're like, well, shit, Boyd, I don't want to do a 0% edge. But what it does is it really opens up the ability for you to compare a market-making sports book with a public sports book on the pricing. So let's open this up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this player hits. I really like to lean on betonline.ag for my player prop bets. So they're at minus 130. That's definitely a standout situation. So we're going to hit this and see if we can see any price action. And you can see how they've sort of moved from this plus 102 all the way down to minus 130. That's a 32-cent move in the last, the last 34 minutes. They clearly did this just recently. We're getting a lot of MLB action here early in the morning. So that just happened. That just pushed that price. And so you have a lot of lagging sports books here that haven't moved yet. So this plus 105, plus 110 certainly is even better than the DraftKings. So we're gonna go hit that real quick. Put that bet in on this player hits allowed on the under 5.5, and keep on trucking. Keep on looking through the low hold page. All right, guys, here we go. First one out of the gate here at the positive EV page. On the left-hand side, you can see 6.5% with the Reds, Mariners, player strikeouts. Andrew Abbott, now 5.5 is a lot of strikeouts, but even money, this looks like a good wager. A little bit high in the market width, but that's okay. Let's take a look here. Recommended bet size for a $5,000 budget and Kelly criterion is 320. But you can open this up and take a look and see that Pinnacle sharpest sports book out there is at minus 144. I like to see betonline.ag's numbers, and this is a little bit of a weird chart, but it's at minus 118. It's eventually dropped down to minus 144. Again, the rest of the market is definitely right around that 129 average. So you're getting this at 30 cents better. Again, if this bet doesn't win, you're still doing things the right way. You're still setting this up the right way, acquiring bets for less than what the market average is, and certainly the market maker in this situation. So I would like to see betonline.ag in this, but I'm still going to get a play in because this is too good to pass up. And Abbott certainly is capable. I think this is something we'll take a look at and go ahead and put a wager in, about a medium-sized wager, but that's the first play we got going so far. All right, guys, here we go. Got a lot of day action in baseball today. MLB starts off in a couple of hours and picked one off here, I think, with Keaton Wynn over 4.5 Ks at FanDuel minus 108. You see the minus 134 here at Pinnacle, which I really, really like. Supposedly a FanDuel sharp at this. They were moving their prices from minus 140 down, so they clearly are trying to get more action on this other side. And so they're making it more enticing over on this side for their particular market, for those particular people. So I'm in disagreement. I'd rather go with this side at the best price, minus 108. Also did a few player prop numbers and looking favorable for the over here on some probabilities. So for those reasons, I'm going to go ahead and go with this first one at over 4.5 Keaton K's with the Giants. All right, guys, we go down to the next one here. It's 2.52%, which is nice. It's right where I want to be, and I like the price here. This minus 108 at FanDuel. My challenge with this, my problem with this is, I don't know. It's just not much of an outlier, And so I'm not. If I play this, I'm going to open this up. If I play this, it'd be very minor, only because I'm not getting an outlier. It's the best one. It's the best price, but I've got some bet online here that's showing good direction relative to them. I researched it and saw that they were in this range at minus 114. They're about 6 cents better, so that's encouraging, but it's not outstanding. I know that Pinnacle is really convinced that this is the place to be. So they're at minus 138, so that's encouraging. But again, I hold that online a little bit higher in standard on player props for this situation. But this is very encouraging that they've got this at minus 138. So do I think it's a play mathematically? Yes. Is this something I'm going to throw a ton on? Probably not. But this minus 108 with what they've got to offer, with what they're doing, is kind of too hard to pass up, but it'd be a very small play. Next up, let's pop over to the low hold page. The low hold page, again, if you are unfamiliar with it, is basically where you're going to see equal odds on both sides. So again, what I'm talking about is 0% edge. You're like, wow, that's crazy, Boyd. Why would you do the low hold at zero? Well, what you can identify here is a market-making sports book at plus 110, minus 110. So you see there's 0% on either direction. You can place a bet on both sides and basically break even at zero. So what I do is I identify the odds making sports book here, in this case Pinnacle, the public sports book, DraftKings. I like the prices in these ranges, so I find a lot of bets. I find a lot of good value wagers because you can open this up and take a look at the rebounds here with Embiid player rebounds and see if there's any price bets. So sure enough, BetOnline minus 144. They've had a nice cliff dive to the 144, and you see these guys still asleep at the wheel at minus 110. So that's obviously the best odds, best price. Let's see if we have any Pinnacle action there at minus 123. Pretty encouraging. But the thing I don't like about that is it's gone the other direction, gone back this way. So that's a little bit bizarre. So again, I would consider making this a play, probably do a little bit of a smaller play, because you can see I don't have just a pure outlier standing out there by themselves. But what I do have is the best price compared to these guys. So I do like that. It's very encouraging. Make a play on that. But as you can see, when I give you a couple of each morning, I'm doing a disservice, because if you have this tool for yourself, you can go through and find so many more wagers, so many more bets. But I'm just showing you an example of how I would shop and how I would use this. I don't like getting above the 170, the 150, minus 150, plus 150. So this is a bet I'd probably leave alone. This one I'd leave alone. I'd look into this one. Again, there's some more Embiid action. Typically, when you see a narrative that there's going some under with a particular player, that's kind of interesting as well, sort of a piece to the puzzle, if you will. But again, you can use this tool to go here and, again, find a very, very non-sharp book versus a very sharp book, open it up and see what this PRA stands for, or goes with the points, rebounds, and assists. And you can see here they're at minus 139. seemingly asleep at the wheel at minus 102. So let's see what the money movement's doing. Yeah, cliff dive from the minus 114. So they got a big push of money coming in, and their price is up. So this would be an outlier price to go back and attack. And again, that's how you use the low hold page. All right, guys, again, the low hold page is a really good, valuable target to use when you're pricing things and identifying wagers in the price area that you want to be. I like to be around minus 150, plus 150. So if I see something that's, minus 250, minus 270, a lot higher in price, I don't really get into it. So this would be an example of something I really don't want to, do a plus 200 or a minus 205. You may set your parameters at the, minus 160 area. So this is going to be a great tool to use to identify, as you can see, a shit ton of bets. And so when you have a market making sports book versus a public sports book, you can go in here and you can get the best pricing and identify, what the market's doing. These guys are at minus 139, right? So minus 105, would you rather pay $105 or $139, especially when you know the market making sports book is at this point in their pricing situation. As you open it up, they just got recently hit up about 5 hours ago. They were at minus 114. That's a 25-cent move. That means something. And if Pinnacle, sharpest sportsbook in the world, is getting hit to drive their price down, and you have a slacker over here at minus 102 or minus 105, that's an opportunity. That's how you identify positive EV bets. That's why you would go place this bet on Patrick Beverly under, even though it's not till Sunday. You may want to, keep that in the back of your mind and wait on that. But you're going to be able to find a lot of good bets today in today's market. You have Novig. It's a betting exchange here in Colorado. You have all these choices and all these bets that you can go through. So for me to give you one or two or three, here on the channel, I'm doing a disservice because there is so much more here, as you can see, that you'd have availability to do some quick research on. These player hits. Again, priced out a little higher than you might want to be, but you have so many choices to really, dig into and take a look at. Using these market-making sports books against a public sports book, and using these filters right up here at the top, using these filters to set up how you want to see the sports books. If you hit play, this comes in nonstop and constantly, so you're going to have a ton of information to go through. And if you hit pause, you can sort of filter what you can, process what you can, and use this play button accordingly. I use the play button when I'm doing live or in-game betting, and that's a really cool thing because they've got a lot of good features on the in-game that's helpful when they have a stoppage in the action, like a timeout or a quarter or things like that. So using the play button is really, really helpful. So you can hit refresh and get an updated piece of information here that you can, again, reassess, reanalyze, and continue forward with the low hold page as it continues to update the data coming in. So there's so much here to use, so much you can take advantage of. Get yourself signed up. All right, another tool OddsJam provides is their odds screen. It is amazing. It is a real-time odds screen that has all the different markets. You can do the drop down here. You can see all the different player prop bets, all the different markets you can tap into. Now on the default side here, I have up the MLB screen. MLB here is going to go show you the over, the total, and also the run line. The run line is sort of like the point spread on MLB. And you can also see the colors here. The red indicates a recent price change. This went from minus 188 about 20 seconds ago to minus 196. So clearly it's telling you that the market is going that direction, taking the plus 1.5 with Miami. And Rogers on the hill. You can also see another price change here. So it went from minus 190 up 10 cents at ESPN Bet. So again, it's showing you that the best price available is currently at Bet Online at minus 180. So you have your best odds here and your best prices. If you want to open up just say first inning runs, first half money line markets, you can do that as well. But keep in mind, the green typically means a worse price situation. Again, this went from plus 134 to plus 140. So basically it's telling you that the market's going the other direction. And again, it's going to help you identify which direction the pricing is moving, if you need to jump on it or if you want to wait a little bit. One thing I really want to encourage you to do is open up the history here, because here are the OddsJam odds and the OddsJam data. It's going to show you the timeline and show you the information as it comes in at the various times. And so you can actually determine if this is maybe a pricing change due to injury, maybe it's weather, maybe whatever the case. If it's sharp moving at certain times, I know limits are changing continuously throughout the course of the day. So right out of the gate, the overnight lines, you're going to, the whales are going to have less ability to get as much money down, but yet later in the morning, about to 8:30, 9 o'clock Mountain Time, the limits increase. And so you'll see some pricing changes at certain times of the day based on the limit changes. So that limit change is going to give you an indicator of where some of the larger monies are being placed and going. And so certainly you can use that information as well on the timing, the timing of the day, the timing of what's going on, and use this odd screen as a tool again to determine best price available. If there's some outlier pricings on some of the public sports books that are asleep at the wheel, you can really use this as a tool to get ahead of and snipe some better prices. And in just using simply the odds screen alone, not even the low hold page or the positive EV page, but OddsJam does an excellent job of providing this. Also during live sports betting, you can use this during the live bets to see the markets changing. It's phenomenal to have this as a tool. All right, guys, there you go. There's a quick tour on the OddsJam site to help you identify the tools you can use to find positive EV bets, and hopefully this information has been very, very helpful. If you like this kind of content, make sure you give us a like, give us a share, join the channel, leave us any insights or questions you might have down below. Love to get your feedback. Also got a lot of MLB betting to go to today. Today's day games in MLB, and so we have a lot of action. We're trying to get this video out early, and then, of course, take advantage of all the in-game and the live betting that we have coming up here today in MLB. Again, I want to remind you, if you're interested in getting some consultation, some education, some help, some tools, a betting roadmap, kind of custom design for yourself, stop by the website, boyddavis.com. Make sure you get joined up, and let's get this going. It's a lot more fun when you're making money and you have the recipe, you have the tools, and you have your own roadmap to do that. It's way more fun. So again, appreciate you stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow with more of the details and the heuristics and the tips and the methods and the strategies and all the things we can add to try to help you increase your ROI. Let's go make some mathematical money.